Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Black Jewel Tarot. I'm Jewel, and thank you for showing up.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back. This is your producer, Laura Nicole Haldane, and Triple D's. Here we are again with another episode. I want to, before we get started, make sure to plug in appointments that are available for Reverend Tiny Life Recovery Coach or Recovery Life Coach, however you want to get into it. All that information is going to be down in the description. Make sure you go ahead and check out our description for all the information that you'll hear about today and a little bit more information about how you book your appointment. All right, so let's get into our segment, Triple D's, the crack epidemic and the trauma left behind. What card are we working on today?
We are working on the star card. Some
Ooh,
stars
how's
out
that look?
here tonight.
Ooh, yeah.
um, that just brings me all the way back to a really good night that I've had, and honoring the divinity in everybody and realizing everybody is truly their own star. But when you look at the star in tarot, it brings about hope, direction, renewal, inspiration, creativity, positivity, and most importantly, rebirth. So the star cards deal
Mm,
with Aquarius energy. It also deals with the crown, enlightenment, inspiration that we get from that area. And the planetary was Uranus, and I didn't know that until I started studying tarot, and I thought that that was like an aha moment. The star card deals with the element of air. So I think about meditation and breathing and how that brings that enlightenment brings you to a different perspective with utilizing the element of air and meditation and being the star that you are, the star that is in everybody, right? But it's very symbolic as she has, here it is. Can you see? Sometimes with these cameras, she's pouring out of her vessel, she's setting in the water, standing, and that's grounding. But she's very astute, very positive, owning her power. And
mm,
it also, my computer is sticking. I don't know why. It went into Spanish. Okay, computer is acting up.
But we still present. I still hear you, and that's so interesting. You know what I liked about the card though that you named? It had all the elements in it. I even saw birds in it. You
I'm
got fire, you got birds, you got water, you got the land.
So
I don't think I've seen a card quite like that.
it's a power, and this is the African tarot. So this is for us, by us.
Hmm.
And then, why wouldn't African tarot represent all the elements? They do a wonderful job in their deck representing us, right? And
Hello.
that's what we are. I love you, Ep. Oh, yes. But it deals with intuition as well, and rebirth and creativity, and making ourselves anew. And I think about the star card, I think about myself and how I've continually to just change where I'm at, change my environment, and change my appearance or even my name, right? It's a process. Owning that process, loving the process, and allowing the process is a demonstration of the star.
Mm,
Be a representation. And utilizing all the elements, we have that power.
mm. So where does that power come from? How do we source that? How do we utilize? How do we utilize that power? Maybe more so even how do we identify it? Because if it's all the elements, right, it's not just a focus in on one.
Well, you know what? It's in the cards, and there's 8 stars, which is strength. We find the strength that is inside, and we go with it.
Ah,
So
so it's
what?
almost like a third space. It's a third space.
Right,
Now that makes sense. It's not outside of us, it's inside of us at that point.
definitely,
We are the embodiment of all the elements.
we are.
Wow.
We are, and it's even talking about even the minerals, the gold and the amethyst and the jade and the jasper. It's all in us. And what is definitely interesting too is when you work with crystals, there's each crystal represent a vital organ, the heart, citrine, the liver, the kidneys. And so where I was going with that is just we are the earth. We can't separate ourselves and have a spiritual or balanced life because we've been taught in Western society that we're so far and detached, and then the consumption of the toxicity, the food, the health care, the media, it just takes us away from who we truly are, what God has given, which is we are fallen stars. We come down here as stars. We come down here in our innocence and our purity. And the colonizers has taken that. So we have to regain it. When the star card shows up, it's about regaining our life again, rebirth. And I would say a lot of us are going through a spiritual process now that exhibits the star. And we got to do what we got to do and utilize that strength within. Because it's not without, it's within us.
Hmm. So tell me a little bit about your journey with the crack epidemic and how you utilize the power within as a star. Have you ever experienced moments where you knew that you were in your star energy?
I'm glad you asked that question, and it really takes me aback because I definitely had some struggles. And during that time in transitioning into who I wanted to become and letting it go, it was the aha moment when I came up with the analogy for me, no dick, no dope, no donuts.
Mm,
And allowing that affirmation to lead me and carry me, I became the star because I was no longer giving away my power. So for
mm,
me, in the crack epidemic, it was
mm,
it. I'm not selling. I'm not giving away my body for. I didn't want to be derogatory because it was just coming out very derogatory. So I apologize to my ancestors. But I wasn't sucking no dick for no $2. You can't get me to do that. I'm not going to sell no ass commercial sales. I'm not doing that, right? So I just kept with it. No dick, no dope, no donuts. And when you are addicted, 1,000 is too many and one is never enough, right?
mm,
You can't do one. And then I always, I struggle with my weight. I was fat doing dope, so no donuts. But these were things that were personal to me to keep me on my own journey. These were things that I had to look at every day and reflect and change. So with me, the star card showed up. It's like, no, I finally got it. No, this is my motto. I'm gonna wear it on my chest, and I'm gonna say it with my chest out, and I'm gonna hold myself in integrity and dignity that I was taught by my dear precious mother, and keep it moving
mm,
with my star head on my crown, right? I'm gonna keep it pushing. And even though, in that struggle, it took a long process. The healing took a long process. It wasn't, I woke up and went to an AA meeting and the next day it was like, oh, it's a miracle, I'm a star. It was just like a budding rose that comes and opens up gently in its own season. And when I said its own season, everybody's struggle
Mm,
is different, and we need to allow people that process and not try to
mm,
through. And I'm speaking to myself because I actually try to rush a process through. And it's not
ooh,
about that. It's about the integrity and the dignity and the quality that you bring forth in representation.
mm,
Right? Like, so I showed up, but I showed up for myself. And that's what you
mm.
have to do in recovery. You got to show up for yourself because nobody can do it for you. So that's how the star card played out for me,
Gotcha.
my birth, with strength, hope, and faith.
Wow.
Definitely.
Hmm. I'm wondering if there are encouraging words or one-liners that you can give or offer people who may be emerging into their star power,
In,
just as you once were.
in strength, there is hope. In hope, there is
Mm,
just walk with it.
Say that again for us one more time. In strength, there's
Hope. In hope, there is strength.
mm,
I, I heard something amazing the other night. Applied knowledge is power.
ooh. I'm writing
Applied
that down.
applied knowledge is power. And I'm gonna give another gem, another jewel, because
You know.
right? You ready for this?
I'm ready.
A purpose with a plan has to succeed.
Come on.
That was coined by me. I am copywriting that. But I was talking with my colleague or my big brother, and that came out. And I have to give a shout out to Jamil and Angel. They're doing such a wonderful job at S.O.S farm in Solidify New, where they're opening a mechanic shop, a school, mechanic school, from ages 16 to 36, that they're giving out free mechanic, teaching and maintenance, basic maintenance, oil change, tires, checking batteries. But I think that's awesome. And it's so heartfelt because they're promoting women to come on, right? And me being a diesel mechanic, I went to school for that. So I'm like, let's bring it. Let's bring it. And during this meeting, it's like, you know what? I said a purpose with a plan has to succeed. And I thought about all of that they're doing and how successful it's going to be because they're doing it. I'm right here, yes. I'm very, very busy. Give me like 10 minutes. I'm in a podcast. I'm on live. I can't even.
Come on. A purpose with a plan has to succeed.
Yeah, a purpose with a plan has to succeed. So I think I want y'all to marinate on that. Because if I don't go get my car checked out, they be busy. So I have to close out. I'm sorry.
No worries. No need to apologize. But before we go, let me plug in our last act for the evening and then we can do our outro. So we left with our quote, which was what again?
A purpose with a plan has to succeed.
And what was the one about strength?
Was it applied knowledge is power or strength? Strength with hope. Now see, when spirit talks, just let it go, L. Let's look. Like to the tarot, another episode. Let spirit, when spirit speaks, write it down. All right, so it's
Listen, exactly. Before
thank you
before
very
you go, I want to make sure to remind you all that Black Jewel Tarot is open for booking. Go ahead and find that information down below in the description, as you already know. And with that, we will bid you adieu. We are Black Jewel Tarot, and we are out.
He's like deuces, peace, deuces.